Every time I come back to the ocean, it feels like returning home. It's where I learn to breathe deeply, to listen, to care. But it's also where I learned that things can change drastically for the worse in a matter of days. My name is Shelby. I grew up in Florida, surrounded by the third largest coral reef in the world. Ancient cities made of color and life. I remember one coral in particular, over 100 years old. I watched it die in a matter of days. A disease swept through, and what had stood for over a century turned white and silent, with no life. That's when I realized how fragile they've become. Now I'm here in Grenada, a place where the ocean is everything. It feeds families, brings travelers, and shapes culture. But like so many islands, Grenada's reefs are under pressure. Rising temperatures, storms, disease. It's a battle that never stops. Together with the rest of the team, we came here to find a place. The right place. A space where beauty serves a purpose, where people come to be inspired and leave understanding what's at stake.
Beneath Grenada's blue waters, a silent crisis unfolds. Coral reefs, the lifeblood of our ocean, are dying as the seas grow hotter. To protect them, we must find and propagate heat-tolerant species and build a diverse genetic bank of corals for the future. Here in Grenada, we stand on the work of those who led the way before. Now, we're expanding this mission, exploring new sites near St. George's in the south, St. Patrick's in the north, Isle Ron, and eventually Carriacou, our land of reefs as the indigenous people called it. In the 1950s and 60s, a lot of Grenada's coral was broken and burned, turned into lime and cement to rebuild, especially after Hurricane Janet. It was a time of survival when few understood the true value of coral reefs. But in saving our homes, we unknowingly destroyed the system that protects our entire island. Today we know better. Coral reefs are our first line of defense against storm surge and coastal erosion. They feed our people, shelter our fish, and sustain the very life of our ocean. As climate change intensifies and storms grow stronger, we must rebuild again, not from coral, but for coral. By restoring reefs, growing heat-tolerant species, and protecting their genetic diversity, we can secure food, livelihoods, and safety for generations to come. Grenada's reefs once helped us recover from disaster. Now it's our turn to help them recover so they can protect us once more.
I imagine a place where art grows, where life returns, slowly, in color and in movement. A reef that reminds people that we can create, not just consume. For Grenada, protecting the ocean isn't just about conservation, it's about survival. Grenada already has a coral nursery that's giving these reefs a second chance. Tiny pieces of coral, fragile but determined, growing stronger each day. The goal of this project is to take some of these corals and transplant them into a living sculpture, part restoration, part story. The people of Grenada are already making a difference, teaching the next generation to swim, how to appreciate the ocean, and how to make sure to save it for the future. I've seen what it looks like when a reef dies. Now I want to see what it looks like when it comes back to life.